a target. Because how often do you see, the ruckman tap to the player kicks long, and it's beautiful.
Okay, I think the live stream's back up again. So it's going up and down.
Your
net's on, but I don't think it's... Oh, yeah, that's working.
Yeah, we'll find out. Anyway.
Fucking high-tech organisation here.
But I think this has been the year of the ruckman too. I mean, there's a few games that Mumford won off his own.
Yeah, very true.
Bat.
And that is one of the more exciting things about 2016 too. Seeing a fit Mumford, we can only hope.
Good, yeah. Well, I think he's getting up to 30 now as well.
But big guys generally,
they take longer, but yeah.
And they do normally, we've always said,
they don't get smaller.
At the end of the fourth quarter, they're still 6'7", 6'8".
Yeah, or bigger.
Yeah, well, or seven flat.
That's like you said with North Melbourne, is that ruckmen have got to be multi-position players these days. You can't just have a straight-up ruckman because they're too easy to isolate out of the game.
Yeah, and run off.
Yeah.
Tell you what, one bloke who probably might have just saved himself a contract on grand final day, Majak Dor. Winning the sprint.
And
did he?
Running it well.
Oh, he started terribly. Out of the blocks, he was probably 6th.
Yeah.
And then by halfway...
Charlie Cameron, I think, might have jumped the gun.
And then by halfway second, and then the legs just started pumping, and he was home and hosed by a good meter, I reckon.
Obviously, he's still got some other issues to sort out. And let's
just say he's been practicing his running away from kids for a while. Yeah.
The only thing I heard of the halftime race was when the Adelaide Crows Twitter feed asked, sorry, we missed the halftime race. It wasn't halftime, was it? It was before the game.
No, it was halftime.
Halftime.
Oh, we missed it. How did Charlie do? And fuck, I didn't get any quick enough, but I was thinking, he did well, man. I mean, you would run fast with Harley Bennell chasing you, trying to score you.
But now the other rumoured retirement from the Hawks is Lake.
I tell you what, he acted like he wanted to keep playing.
Well, this is what I like about it. It was touch and go. I think end of last year if he was going to get another go round. And they went, no, okay, we'll give you one more. What I like about what he's done is he's gone in and said, I want another contract.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because usually, you get the stock standard, we'll talk about at the end of the year, just what's best for the team, I'll talk to my family. He's gone, I want to play.
Well,
I want to play.
Let's just put it out there. Brian Lake, he doesn't react to stimuli the same way that most normal people do.
Marches to the beat of his own drum.
And
that drum he found on Special.
Yes. Is looser than an unhinged cannon.
Yes.
I think we could easily say.
I love it.
But having said that, Jesus Christ, he was brilliant.
Everything.
And
in his power.
That spoil in it was the last or the third.
It was in the last.
Yeah.
We spoke about it. The margin was 10 goals.
2 players going into an open goal. Every other day of the year, it's a gimme.
Yeah.
And he's just not having it and outsmarted them both.
It's a man playing for his career. That's the best thing about it. Is one, he's gone out and said, I want to keep going.
Yep.
And 2, he's shown it.
And the thing is, why wouldn't you? How good are they going?
But geez, I reckon if you could take that amount of heart, because the game's over.
Yep.
And Lake is still trying his fucking ass off.
Yep.
I don't think
oldest man on the ground.
I don't think more than 2 West Coast Eagles players could have said the same after quarter time.
No.
They were looking for a place to hide. And we were watching the game and I was saying the same thing. They're looking at the gate.
Yeah.
They were just thinking, put me out, I'm done. I reckon at 3/4 time, there were 18 blokes who wanted to be subbed off.
Yeah. They could have.
Or they wanted to be in Hawks Guernseys, really, because they kept on passing to him.
Well, yeah, pretty much.
The other thing with Lake is, in his interviews about it as well, he's almost accepted the fact that it might not be his choice. And he said, look, if they don't, if the team decision is to go elsewhere, so be it.
Yep.
You can't complain.
Yeah.
And he said, look, it could just happen that they need to blood some new people in,
yep.
and I'm on the outer. I'll go play for Caroline Springs. So
yeah,
I think it's an awesome attitude to have.
Yep.
If he does bow out, fucking fair.
Come on, Clicking Balls podcast.
If you're looking at him, who's a better defender than him in the Hawks team at the moment?
Brett's idea.
Oh, that could sting.
Look, he did get towed up in the first week of the finals, but Jeezy came back well.
Yeah.
And Frawley was awful in the first week of the finals.
Yes.
So,
yep.
It's going to be Frawley. Is the other one. But I mean, what he brings is he can stand next to the monsters and let Gibson run off.
Even Gunston coming back off, little niggles, but just performing like that, it's just ridiculous.
So the other outs, I think, for the Hawks is their VFL team's going to get raided again. I think Grimley he's won the VFL goal kick in the last 2 years, and I think Hawthorn tried to shop him around last trade period, and they couldn't get rid of him.
Yep.
Well, the thing is, it depends on what they're asking, because Hawthorn will be asking, they don't want any wood.
No.
Yeah.
And there's no point. I mean, who's going to trade something good for surplus when
Exactly. Yeah.
the Hawks just don't have...
They're making ends meet just fine.
Yeah, and the thing is, Hawthorn don't need to trade, and if they have a trade, there has to be something worth their effort.
Yeah. I think Hawthorn have got like a stock standard voicemail reply. I said, sorry, Hawthorn, I'm not interested in...
whichever player.
Yeah.
Well, I mean...
H. Bennell
and
at the moment.
And it's something that the Franklin deal has released them. So for Franklin out, I think the only free agents they got in were Frawley and John O'Rourke. No, John O'Rourke was a trade.
Frawley was
Simpkin.
one that's got a lot of people salty, though.
Yeah,
Especially Melbourne supporters.
17 other Melbourne players.
I don't think Melbourne were all that salty at all because they went, we're going to lose Frawley. You're going to get pick number 2 for him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yep. All right. Ooh, geez. Oh, sorry, Frawley. Pick number 3, sorry.
Who'd they use?
Brayshaw.
Oh, yeah.
So you got Petraka, who didn't play this year, and Brayshaw. Melbourne were wrapped.
Brayshaw versus Frawley.
2 weeks ago, people were laughing at them.
Oh, yeah. Yep. No. Fair play.
And then Frawley said 2 goals kicked on him in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So it's just it's worked out, and he's got his premiership, so that's the way it goes.
Where's the list of picks?
Do you nick that mouse back off me? Oh, you got it over there. I don't know where the draft picks are.
There wasn't an AFL website.
Well, they haven't released it yet because they've still got the compensation picks and the retrade crap to go.
So
they've released what it is at the moment. I looked at it today.
So we've got the 2015 free agents list up here. Do you want to go through it team by team?
Sure.
Best way to do it?
Yeah, why not?
So we start with Adelaide, and the biggest free agent, Paddy Dangerfield, going to Geelong. It's going to happen one way or another. Either he signs as a free agent or Adelaide will match it and then make a trade.
Yeah.
I think I heard somebody else even say that all other teams have just backed off and just let it happen.
Before we move on, one of the announcements today was Woosha to Essendon. So I think a moment of silence is in order for that bloke. He was a good lad. He's been a successful coach, but he's doomed now.
Yeah, well, I mean, he was at West Coast, and he's obviously was he their premiership?
And they have said they're looking at targeting Bennell.
Yeah, the thing is, he's got to update his model. I mean, he won premierships at West Coast by just giving them methamphetamines, and that's pretty much it. Went to Gold Coast, tried cocaine, didn't work. I mean, Essendon have tried peptides. What's he got left in his sleeve?
Well, that's just it. Essendon have cut at the middleman and just hired a fucking pharmacist straight up.
It's the joke that just keeps on giving that one. But I was going to get there because we got a lot of teams to get through.
Yeah, fair enough. Bash on. Brody Martin, he's cactus.
I think he's literally delisted.
He's gone. Yeah,
Brent Riley.
I don't think literally.
He's retired.
He's literally a cactus.
Yes.
He's literally a cactus.
Right, Jed Adcock. He's going to be playing somewhere next year.
So Jed Adcock's the interesting one because Brisbane had told him not interested, which was very weird. I thought he'd be a team that's had people running for the hills.
Yep.
Well,
maybe he's just a cock.
Well, they've said the team's been talking to him, so I mean,
they might change their mind.
Could just be a marketing thing. Well,
they announced it. I think before the season ended.
The thing is, if teams are talking to him, you'd think Brisbane would be like, "Oh no, we want to keep him. Like we want." Unless you give us a brilliant offer.
Yeah, but I mean, if we start tallying Brisbane's smart decisions, where
yeah, in fairness, they have made some
ones. He's unrestricted anyway, so any team that's going to talk to him can say, "Well, we could trade you for him, or we could just sign him."
Yeah, exactly.
So, they pulled that trigger very early.
Leuenberger
is the other big one because he's a restricted free agent. But I think that Brisbane have pretty much said, like, okay, what's out there?
Yeah,
we're going to look at him.
Yeah,
and Woosha has already said he's one on their radar.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because they need a ruckman.
They need everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look,
so they just signed him. They still need a new coach.
Yeah.
If he hasn't sent an email to Pavlich's manager,
Leuenberger's?
Have a cough, champ.
That was in there. Sandilands manager, Goldstein's manager, every ruckman in the comp's manager, and said, "You boys interested?" I'd be shocked.
They certainly go around the grounds, ain't out.
The thing is, based on the sort of way that the previous years Carlton outcasts have gone, everyone's going through their team with a fine tooth comb.
Oh, Yaron
get up for a
Yaron will be a superstar at Richmond.
Well, the thing is, they're trying hard to play hardball with Yaron, and like he's not that important. Like there's way more people on your list that you'd want.
I think they said today that we're looking for a first round draft pick.
Not going to happen.
All right,
Yeah.
Let's look at the other clubs
Like,
there.
you know, we're doing you a favour, yeah? Like, he doesn't want to be there, and you guys didn't really want him, and all of a sudden now he's really valuable.
It's very hard
No.
when they say, we're going to trade you, we're going to trade you, we're going to trade you.
Yeah.
We want big bucks for him.
Yeah.
He's going to go anyway. So.
Yeah. This is bargain hunt to be telling them, just maybe move along and find something else.
Speaking of which,
Bargain hunt?
no, Matthew Cruiser, who they've also
Cruiser.
said, geez, you know what, we think we can offload Cruiser and get some good, decent, combo picks, on the free agency side of things.
Yeah.
Collingwood did their due diligence and went, no thanks.
Really?
Didn't pass the physical.
Yep.
Wow.
So all of a sudden,
They tried to do a Gumbleton and got found out.
Yeah.
well, I mean, it is just what you do. You do, like otherwise,
course.
what's his name?
Anyone who's sold a car knows that.
Who was it last year?
I know, I was trying to think of the name, yeah.
Jack.
He went to Richmond and had a
Tren-
fitness test. Trengove, yeah, Trengove.
Was it Trengrove or the other Jack? No, Trengrove.
Trengrove,
It was
yeah,
Jack
yeah.
Trengrove.
Trengrove,
yeah,
yeah.
who
Yep.
didn't pass the fitness
Yep,
test.
yep.
So another one this year
And
hasn't passed the fitness test.
Harvey Bennell didn't either because he didn't turn up to it.
Well, there's a story there, I think. As well.
Yeah, and that's under G.
Collingwood, McCaffer, who's re-signed. He's had the entire year out with is it a shoulder or a knee? No, it was knee.
Actually,
Been interested in him, and I think there was another younger lad who hasn't had a game yet. Who's testing it
Yes.
out.
Oh,
Can't
I
remember
lost
his
his name. He hasn't debuted yet, but he's had 2 injury interrupted years, and they're trying to offload him. And I think that Buckley came out and said his problems are going to follow him. Didn't
Well-
specify what those problems were, whether they're injury or attitude or whatever, but it was digging the boots in a little bit.
If it's injury, then people have said the same about Joel Selwood. So it's a risk, but sometimes they pay off. Sometimes they just never
generally when
get
they
a big
make a comment like that as a discipline-related issue or things like that.
It sounded like it, but I think he tried to clarify it afterwards. But
you have heard the rumour, and look, take them for what they are, that Bucks and the playing group don't get along too well.
it certainly was, and I think that's why Didac, Heath Shaw, and there was a few others why those players haven't been moved out. But I think that it's his team now,
Yeah, I agree.
and it's starting. But you don't know. You never know.
I think
Well, he's
the
only
way,
6 games
rumours
away
are rumours.
He's only 6 games away from getting sacked.
Yeah.
the way I went
Every
down,
coach is 6 games away from getting sacked.
the way I went down, I'm sure there were.
Up there, but we've just had the oldest
Yeah.
grand final team
Yeah,
ever get over
Yeah.
the line and get over the line well.
Yeah.
Which is funny,
Yeah.
How
And the thing is, if you can't bring in young talent and teach them how to play the midfield like Swan or Pendlebury, then
Yeah.
Swan and Pendlebury need to really pull their head in. And the thing is, that's what Collingwood do now, is they can push Swan and Pendlebury in sort of almost like troubleshooters.
Yeah.
Someone's having a bad matchup, you can stick them in there, and they've got people, young kids who can come through in the middle and, play their role. Even offer something a bit extra they can't offer.
Yeah, well, they are bringing blokes in as well. They're apparently going to be quite
good.
aggressive this trade period.
Should be bringing some birds in.
Well, maybe that'll help too. But move on to the sad 2015, 2014, 2013 that has
I feel
been
bad
Essendon.
giving Essendon shit now that Gordo was so helpful to us.
in the Brownlow medal life cast. Gordo was a Google. I think Essendon are going to be very big players when
You
it
have
comes
to be. You absolutely have to be.
this season, this off season, and they flagged it early, and they said we're going to move a lot of players on.
Yep.
And as soon as Woosh has just come out and gone whoosh and said, we want Bennell,
Yep.
and we're going to look at Leuenberger as well,
Yeah.
which you already spoke about. And they've got a lot of chips out there too. Bell Chambers has just re-signed. I thought that was interesting.
Yep.
Courtney Dempsey, I reckon they won't be too disappointed.
Yeah.
And Tate Pears as well if
Yep.
they move on.
Yeah.
And Stanton, they probably want to hang on to.
And look, here's the thing that I think is that they've got talent there, which is pretty decent. Like, it's not great, but performing in that environment
Yeah.
is not helping it.
Round 2 against Hawthorn. They
Yeah.
were brilliant.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where James Hurd sort of flagged that this is a team to watch. This is
Yeah.
what's going to happen. So I think that it's that environment that's not conducive to getting the most out of those players, especially how toxic it's been.
Yeah.
So I think it's best for most of the players that are there to move on, for them and for a lot of.
They won't get him.
Would you ask the question though?
Absolutely.
Absolutely,
You
yeah.
ask the question
Yep.
of everyone.
Yep.
I can't see Pavlich leaving free.
Yeah.
I
ever.
don't want to see it.
No.
But if you're Woosher, you're on the phone to him and saying, "Mate, can we tempt you?"
Mate, imagine if you had Goddard kicking a Pav.
Yeah.
Pretty fucking good link,
Not
link
bad.
up there, isn't it?
Yeah,
Um,
they went wrong with. Well, they didn't go so well as they'd hoped with Chapman. But
No,
it was
Well,
worth,
fell,
worth,
fell
worth
out
a
around
punt.
behind him, really.
It was worth a punt.
No, his first year was good.
He played well. Everything else fell out.
And he was unlucky. Like this year, he didn't get out on the park enough, which is
Yeah,
fair enough to
yeah.
say. But if you got one good year out of that,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
you've done it right. Do they look to try and do it again with Stevie J?
No, I don't think Essendon would benefit as much from Stevie J.
Couldn't kick goals this year.
Yeah.
That was their problem. They could not kick a score.
I don't think CBJ would necessarily want to go there.
Mate, that might be the thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I really
if
like
you
the Gold
would.
Coast connection with CBJ. I
Yeah,
think that's
same.
a really good move.
Gold
for
Coast have
everyone.
already said no, apparently.
Really?
Well,
They said
depends
not
on
interested.
depends on who you listen to.
Jesus.
According to one bloke, it's no. Another
Yeah.
bloke, it's already a contract. Another bloke, he's got a 3-year with Geelong. So I guess we'll just have to wait until Stevie J decides to let us everyone know.
Apparently, and they are all rumours, and this is the best time to get a rumour out there because it'll be
If you're looking for rumours, you can hear them here.
apparently, Ablett wants him.
Yeah. Yeah.
That the hierarchy's not that keen.
That hierarchy needs to pull their fucking head in.
So I reckon so.
Well, they've already got rid of Blights, and they've
Yeah.
already got rid of a coach last year. So
Having said that, we've already heard from a few journos that it's a signed deal
Yeah.
and that they're not interested. So either
Yeah.
way, I reckon it'll be great for Essendon, but I don't think they'll get him.
Yep.
It'll be great for Gold Coast too.
Yeah.
well, Essendon needs leadership. So
Yeah.
you'd be looking at blokes who are on probably 250 games plus.
Yeah.
Like anyone who's an on-field leader that they can grab, they'd be mad not
They'll
to
be-
at least have an interview.
Wherever he goes, it's going to be a play plus coach role contract.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's going to be 2 years on the field, 1 year off.
Yep.
You know, that kind of thing, and that's what he's been looking for.
Even Freo could probably utilise him up forward there, give him another option, probably get a cheap couple of years out of him.
Well, I mean, it's
well, their
not,
window's starting to close.
it's not silly.
Yeah.
I mean, they do have Ballantyne and Walters, who are
Yeah.
small forwards, but I mean, you have Stevie J play up the ground a little
Exactly.
bit
You're not looking as full-time full forward,
more.
but
But again, scoring's been their problem,
yeah.
and that's what Stevie J does
And
the
look,
best.
what happened with their scoring was that whenever they were restricted with their run, their scoring just dried up,
Yeah.
and the run came from the halfback.
Yeah, and look, it's not just their scoring. It's probably it's the inside 50s. It's their ability to move ball rapidly.
Yeah.
They just don't. They don't attack as quickly as a lot of other teams. They play chess.
Well, they're such a well-drilled side, like they say,
they
and they
are.
have their structures and all that, and it's almost they just stick to it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly right. Yeah.
Hopefully, you know, if Fife gets a full season and he can do things that just blows it away,
Yep.
and hopefully they go, oh, you know what, maybe
Let's
I
embrace
don't have
this. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
imagine, hopefully they won't match up too early. But Gold Coast versus Freo, Fife on Ablett, both fit.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
worth the price of admission.
I mean, remember this year when we had Dangerfield on Fife?
Yeah.
How good was that?
Yeah.
Hopefully
Yeah.
more of that. Fife on Ablett would be amazing.
Yeah.
A fully fit Ablett again.
It'd be like having Australia versus England for an Ashes and just have Graham Swan bowled to Matthew Hayden for like the entire innings, and then have I don't
Warney
know,
on the other end.
Well, no, someone shit, so they get to just fucking kick plenty of sixes. Yeah.
Warney to one of his bunnies.
Geelong, who are going to obviously the big play with Dangerfield, which is a massive get for them.
Yeah.
I fell into their lap.
Exactly. They must just be like, God damn, it's one
I
time
just-
it's good to be Geelong.
I almost hope that they have the sort of GWS Sydney buddy situation going with that. We got him. Wait, fuck, what?
I think the fact that he's already come out and said, I'm going there. I was like, all right. It would be funny, though, if Sydney signed him.
Yeah.
Even though they can't because
All,
they're
all
stupid.
of a sudden, Essendon are like, huh, we got him? Sweet!
But how scary is a midfield with Selwood and Dangerfield?
Fucking oath.
Shit, there'll be free kicks everywhere.
I just hope they trip over each other and just.
Yeah, bang into each other and
Yeah.
start fighting.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Well, we know who's going to start bleeding first.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is true.
I'm not sure if James Kelly's been told he's moving on.
Pretty
yeah, they've
sure.
already moved
Pretty
him on.
sure, yeah. Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
don't know where he's going yet. And Matthew Stokes, I'm not sure if he's finished.
Can't
I think
remember.
they've told him no. So but I don't know if he's retired yet.
Yeah.
So those two guys have still got to make that choice. I think out of them, Stevie J is the most likely to still find another place.
Yeah,
I doubt that he's going to retire. He'll
Yeah.
get an offer, so I think he's going to hang around.
I think it'll just be the right offer for him. I mean,
Yeah.
there's plenty of teams where he fits in and does good things there. So
And there's still a chance that they'll sign the other Selwood from WA, Scotty Selwood.
But the thing is, do they need him?
No, they don't. The only reason they're doing it would be to
Please, Joel.
please Joel. Yeah. And now that they've got Dangerfield, I don't think you're not paying big bucks for a
Fuck
Scotty
Joel.
Selwood. Onto the Hawks, you've pretty much already spoken about. I mean, Suckling and Whitecross, there are rumours that they're both heading to Queensland. Although in the grand final, I did notice that Whitecross, he's had 2 knee recos and his arm was in a sling.
yeah,
So there might be dangers there.
He's got one limb left.
Suckling, I mean, you throw. They're going to pay overs for him to get him out.
You
of
were
there.
with a premiership player.
yeah.
Yeah. And it might be one that Hawthorn can just say, look, mate,
Yeah,
money's
fuck
too
it.
good.
Yeah.
You got your 2 flags.
Yeah.
See ya. Not much they can do there. Melbourne, the big Russian, they've already said goodbye to him. But all the talk around trade is going to be Jack Watts.
Yeah.
If he goes, and if he does, what do they get for him? It's a tough sell.
Yeah. I mean, it's almost like selecting a draft pick after you've already found out how they're going to be.
Yeah.
And they haven't scrubbed it too well. You're not going to trade top draft picks for him because fuck that.
But if you can get value, teams will be interested.
Yeah.
Because there's potential.
Yeah.
But they're not going to pay on potential. They're going to pay on actual.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
might get a second round. Like a second round might be overs. If you get him for a third rounder, you're somebody like not the Bulldogs.
GWS, fucking I don't know.
GWS,
why not? Just
like
'cause-
Eagles.
Essendon
Yeah.
probably want to punt. I don't know.
Brisbane, they're going to have some holes.
Like there's a lot of teams that go, maybe.
But he could be the one that are on day 3 of the trade period. Teams
Yeah.
who've already sort of packed up and gone, all right, we're good. Well, actually, what's still on the table? What have we got in the back pocket?
Yeah.
Oh, we got a third rounder.
Yeah.
Reckon they might have that?
Why not?
We'll ask.
Give it a try.
yeah.
Walk away. Oh, fuck. It'd be like when you go to Bunnings just to get one item,
Yeah.
and you come back and
What's in
you're
the bin on the way out?
oh, sweetheart. Yeah. Oh, you never get what it... look, it was on special. I got Jack Watts. Look, he'll come good. He'll come good, really.
He's a better bloke than Hogan.
Would not surprise me in the least to see him in red and white next year. Just put that one.
St. George.
Right out there. Yes, St. George. On to North. North, who have been big movers when it comes to the
Picking up trash.
trade. And,
They don't fuck about either. They got all their trades done on the first day last year,
Yeah.
and the year before I think it was most on the first and one on the second. So they came in and went, all right, Higgins, you ready? Yep, cool. All right, you're in.
And look-
Wait, how about you? You done? Okay, done. All right,
and
going home.
a massive tick to Higgins this year.
Yeah.
Weight, yep, pretty good.
Yep.
I'd say
He had
about
a good second half.
as good as you could hope
Yeah.
without being patronising. Maybe a little bit better. He had
His first half was abysmal.
his
He did
final
stuff,
series
He did
was good.
stuff when it
His final
mattered.
series was very good.
And like, forget the whole season. If you can make Jared Rate do something in the finals, then that's where Carlton got wrong. Just not make a finals.
I mean, he didn't kick a goal against the Eagles, but the effort was there, and
Yeah.
that's important with
Yeah.
Blake, especially.
And he
Blake.
made the opposition have to be accountable for him,
Yeah.
and they have to be accountable for him outside 50. So that's a really important piece to free Ben Brown up in some space in the forward 50.
Yeah. Brown didn't have the best season, mainly because expectations were so high after being Mr. September the season before.
Last year he was awesome in September, and this year
Yeah.
he looked at sea.
Yeah, well, he looked pretty found out, but he's only young, so this happens, and that's how you adjust your game.
Well,
Yeah,
that's it.
he was adequate. He wasn't anything more than that.
He was awful in that West
Yeah,
Coast game.
yes,
He was.
horrible.
West Coast.
Yeah, it was West Coast.
It
He was
West
jumping
Coast,
too
yeah.
early.
Both
in the
games.
prelim.
Yeah, even against Richmond, he wasn't very good.
Yeah, I mean the talk was that he was getting jumper pulled and everything, but
So was everyone else on the ground.
Yeah.
forwards
Yeah.
get that every week.
You're a big boy.
Yeah, just slam the first bloke and run with it then.
The big thing for North was they signed all the players they needed to sign.
Yep.
Yeah.
Especially Robbie Tarrant, who had a breakout year, which is one of the few calls I got right.
Yep.
The big contract too, wasn't it? 4 years? Something
Yeah,
Something like that, yeah.
3+1.
Yeah.
Look, at the start of the season, it was probably they were looking at him as, mate, are we worth sticking with you?
It was his last go round.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yep.
And look, he's been a revelation down back, and deserves a 4-year contract.
Yep.
Because if North didn't give it to him, other teams would.
Yep.
But in terms of other guys, they've delisted McMahon, which is understandable.
Fair enough.
He's been struggling. And they've got some young lads coming through they really need to get more game time into.
Yeah.
But they're after Bennell, apparently, still. Just because a lot of other teams have dropped out. They're like, we might be able to sneak a cheeky one in. And Seaman from Collingwood. And there'll always be that surprising trade where, a bloke who is expected to be picked up isn't, and they might be like, we got Aaron Black here. Do you reckon we could swap him over?
I think they're going to move on Aaron Black.
Yeah,
Well,
I think so.
With the forward line, I think Black is a fantastic talent, but his highlight reel is brilliant. His week-to-week effort is ordinary.
Yeah.
Having said that,
His highlight
a team
reel's alright.
like Freo would love to have him because he's a creative big forward,
Well-
and they need that.
Well, Freo, apparently Bennells
Yeah.
was telling every man and his dog that it's a done deal with Freo.
And that's why he's acting like a cunt in Melbourne. He doesn't want the teams to want him.
Hey, he's just looking for a good night out with Dusty.
Yeah,
That's
well,
all.
yeah, why not?
And,
With
and
the
who
dust.
would
Dusty would murder him on a night out. Wouldn't be close.
Freo have also got to try and work out how they can get McCarthy out of GWS.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Especially
he's
GWS
still contracted for 2 years.
Yeah, and GWS got cash too, so
it's players or draft picks. Well, not even draft picks. GWS don't need those. So it's
Freo
players.
don't have them. So
I can say Freo might trade on Zach Dawson.
yeah, that's a
Somebody else's turn.
Yep, yep.
Which, like GWS and Gold Coast were both missed here because with this a list of free agents, and they don't have any because they haven't been around long enough.
Yep.
But now that we're moving on to Port, Charlie Dixon has already said that's where he wants to go.
Really?
It's be a great get for Port. They've got to work it out.
Yeah. Does someone else want to go to Port, wasn't there? Or someone...
No, Schultz was looking at leaving Port for Freo.
No,
but he's signed on.
He's signed on again. So Schultz and Dixon, it's a pretty dangerous looking forward line.
I thought Shooks deserved another year. I mean, he's still worth it.
Yep.
I thought.
I guess it depends if they could stitch up Dixon or not. They might have been trying to think, can we get Dixon in, and then we'll look at the contract.
And can we fit Shooks in? But they've already signed Shooks, so that's good news for him. But they
need some muscle. That's what they need.
Yeah, they do.
And like someone like Scotty Thompson is running there, just run through people, not worry about playing footy too much.
Which Scotty Thompson? The Adelaide one?
North Melbourne
one. Okay.
Yeah.
I just want... They can do it with
You
either.
mean they need a prick?
Yeah, exactly.
They need like a...
But one that can back it up with a bit of muscle, not like Ballantyne, who, just run off.
Like Byron Pickett.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Port Adelaide Byron Pickett, not Melbourne Byron Pickett.
They need someone built like Magic
I
or
thought
acts
North
like
Melbourne.
Brian Lake.
North Melbourne Byron Pickett.
He was good too. North Melbourne Byron Pickett.
So he put that sort of toughness through the field that Martin couldn't be fucked running up in the ground.
He's the reason that other teams switched to wearing brown pants.
Okay, so that's Port. I mean, their biggest thing is they want to top up. There are rumours that Matthew Lobb is looking to go elsewhere as well. They've signed him, but he's another ruckman who... Paddy Ryder's going to be the number one ruck. He took a long time, half a year sort of to really get going, but when he was going, he murdered Hawthorn.
I got lucky.
Second game.
I think
got lucky against Essendon, that's right.
I think with the introduction of free agency, the value of re-signing someone out of free agency isn't as sort of indicative of what their future's going to be as it used to be.
Always,
because you want to get something for them, so you sign them, then you trade them on.
The biggest problem with free agency is most of the people commentating on footy don't understand it.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, he's a free agent. No, he's a trade.
Yeah.
And
Well,
anyway.
And the other thing with Dangerfield, they reckon that apparently he might not be able to get through to Geelong in the draft if it goes to that, so they might trade through another team in a three-team trade.
It'll get done to Geelong.
I hope someone fucks them over. We'll totally trade him on. Nah.
Because if Adelaide match it, they'll work a trade.
Exactly.
With Geelong. They're being... Like, it'll get done.
Yeah.
I know the old man's a Tiger supporter and he reckons he can find a place for Yaron. I don't like it.
Yeah, no, I'm not a fan. I like not necessarily Yaron, but fitting him into the Richmond team. I don't see what he adds that we can't get from some young players.
I was thinking the same thing, but in a few games that I've seen him play, he was one of the few Carlton blokes who was still having a crack in and the game was over.
He gives up easy, though.
Yeah, there was, but there was some other games where you just go, mate, you want to be anywhere but there.
And he probably did. But the fact that for a few games he was showing spirit, he's still ahead of most of the other Carlton players.
That's it. I think Richmond aren't at a point where they gamble on a player like Yaron. Especially if you have to pay something for him. I think they're much better gambling on getting young talent in because you've got experience there, you've got a good structure, you've got Choco there who can nurture experience like no one else.
Based on Richmond's trade and recruiting policy, they'll probably trade Rance for him.
No, we sacked Frawley years ago.
It's going to be interesting with Richmond because I don't know what their cap room's like.
The cap room is pretty good, I think.
I thought it would have been because they haven't got anybody on the big money.
I think
Rance was signed a bit. Martin.
I think we had
Revolt was probably on a bit.
Sort of the 3 and 4 year contracts for players who had experience that were pretty heavy, and so now that they've sort of run their time and they've either moved on or traded out, we've got room because during that time when we signed, I think it was Martin. Teams like did enough. Did a couple of shocking things, but did enough.
Yeah, and it's not like they need to improve a massive amount. They just need that little bit here and there. It's all going to come down. They need to win a final.
Exactly.
We've been saying that for a couple of years.
The
Saints have been big movers in hoarding draft picks the last couple of years,
and paid off too.
I think it's going to pay off. They'd have to be happy with their year. I don't know if they're going to be in the stage to try and pick up some ready-made talent. Like Stevie J, obviously he'd help that side now, but he's not right for him.
They're not playing.
So, something
they're
like
not
that.
looking to go deep in the finals next year. I mean, if they can, they'll love it.
No,
but that's not their goal. They're looking 2 years, maybe 3
Yeah.
down the track.
I
Yeah,
think
it's-
Stevie J as a forward line coach for the Saints would be sensational.
Maybe.
But not on the field.
Not
so
on the
much,
field,
Yeah,
no.
Because you're getting rid of people like Membry and Bruce up there who are doing well, sort of running in space. You don't want to clog that one up too much.
They're
Well,
sort
they've
of
got-
2 years off that last piece, which is what Stevie J is.
I think
a
they
last
want,
piece.
forward-facing goal kickers to make sense. So people who
Yeah.
kick running towards
Yep.
goal, not leading out from goal.
But yeah, they've got a damn good midfield. Their forward line's shaping together rather nicely, and maybe a little bit of run out of the back they could benefit from. But every team can say that.
Yeah, and just a bit of conditioning.
Having said that, they haven't been
Good
scared
experience.
to put it all out there during
Yeah.
trade period. I mean, with McAvoy,
Yeah.
who I'd still say that's a win-win trade because they got Billings and Savage out
Yeah.
of that. Savage has
Yeah.
been pretty good for him, and Billings is going to be a star,
Yep.
and is that right age for him.
Yeah, and they do have a young list. Well,
They do.
yeah,
Except for Rewalt.
pretty young list. Well, very young
Rewalt and
list.
Fisher, yeah.
And the thing is, the way that they've been able to bounce back and be resilient through the season is such a good sign for a young team like that. And I think that's what you can be most happy about with being a Saints fan. Was even with the ones games they won, they were losing by a lot in the first half,
Yeah.
and they've always pegged back big margins in order to win games. And that composure is hard to get in mature teams like you saw with West Coast in the grand final. So you get it with a young team like St Kilda. You can build on that and sort of plug in gaps. And I think you just need a bit of maturity to come in through, and just it's going to take time.
The reserve side's played off in a prelim this year as well, so there's a little
Good
bit
too,
of
Good too.
experience there.
Yep.
So yeah, I think that, they've got every reason to be optimistic.
Yeah.
Sydney. Now Sydney have made one little inroad in that they've had the trade ban not lifted,
Yep.
but eased slightly,
Yep.
so they can get free agency players in that have I think it's or something like that
Right.
per season.
Right.
Jeddah is the big one.
Yep.
Because he's already said I wants to go back to WA.
Freo, yeah.
So he's going to go to Freo probably or Eagles. I think Freo.
Well, there's only 2 teams in WA, so
I think Freo will be
Most
tough to
likely.
fit in small running players like that in the team.
Yeah,
I think because you got Bennell who wants to go to Freo as well.
he's going to be running out of half back probably or on the wing.
I don't think they fit him and Bennell in their team.
I don't
it'll be
think
one
he
or
can
the
fit
other.
both. No.
Yeah, I think it'll be one or
So
the other.
you reckon Eagles?
Yeah,
He's
I
going to
reckon
WA.
Eagles.
There's no doubt he's
I reckon
going.
Eagles pick him up, and even them, I don't think they really want him either, to be honest.
I don't know.
on
Depends what you
what-
give
yeah.
up for him.
again, it's the price.
Yeah.
If the price is right, people will buy any old shit.
Yeah, this is true. This is true.
That's why eBay's around.
Yep.
In fact, maybe they pop them on eBay and see what happens.
If he gets it right, he can be a match winner.
Yeah.
The problem is sometimes this year he looked downright lazy.
Yeah, yeah. And the thing is, you got 18 match winners, you don't win matches.
Yeah. The
That could be a T-shirt.
West Coast Eagles, they've signed everyone they needed. Scotty Selwood's the only one that they might let him go to Geelong, if so. Because I think he's surplus to their needs anyway.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
I think
absolutely.
so. Yeah.
So he was an emergency for the grand final this year.
Yep.
And they've got Eric McKenzie and Mitch Brown to come back in.
Yeah.
So I think, obviously, look, they made a grand final and they'd be very happy with that, except for the result.
Yep.
Look, but getting there was a massive effort for this young side, considering that they lost Bo Walters to retirement pre-season.
Yep.
I think it was pre-season as well.
Look, I think if you're getting rid of Scotty Selwood, I think you'd probably slot Jeddah in there
Yeah,
quite nicely. I think you'd be able to throw him around in there.
I reckon it's worth a punt because again, you don't need to improve by much.
Yeah.
They're in the frame. Look,
Yeah.
their goal next year is top 4, obviously.
Yeah, and it seems like the ball's in their court anyway because Jeddah said that that's where he wants to go. So, and like I said, us geniuses have kind of freeway out of the race, so it's all the West Coast.
Patrick McGinnity is an unrestricted free agent, and he is the whipping boy at West Coast at the minute. So, if there is an offer for him, and might be surprised if there is, but if there is one, I think that they'll just go, okay.
Yep,
Just-
done.
Okay. There's also big rumours that Lysette is being targeted by Sydney.
Yep.
He was to be their second ruckman behind Nat Nui now that Cox retired.
Yep.
But Sinclair overtook him this year, and I don't
Right.
think Lysette played more than half a dozen.
Yeah.
And I thought, especially in the qualifying final, Sinclair looked like a world beater.
In the grand
Yeah.
final, like a complete spud.
I think he was the worst on ground. He got
I think he
subbed
actually outscored some Hawks players.
out. In what?
No, in giving Hawthorn scores.
he was more helpful for Hawthorn than some players.
Bloody oath.
In kicks to advantage.
There was one part right in the middle of the ground where he fumbled the ball and then dropped it and then and missed it off the ground, and then Sammy Mitchell kicked it out and it goes out to Rioli or somebody.
Yeah.
And go, mate,
Someone scoops it
you're
up.
just not having a day.
Yeah.
There was also one. Can't remember who had a shot on goal early in the first, and I think Gibson or Lake touched it on the line.
Yeah.
And Sinclair's gone, touch.
Yeah.
He's like, oh shit, hang on. And you wonder why they start rumours about Ruckman.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Stereotypes are there for a reason.
I do remember that kick, actually.
He's called it touched on his own goal line.
Well, he's just an honest lad.
Yeah, honest is one way of putting it.
Or he's a cunt.
And finally, the Bulldogs. Bulldogs have got a few people that they might be looking on to move. Jared Grant hasn't got a contract yet.
Yeah, I think this is a very sort of surprising and welcome problem for the Bulldogs to have. With a lot of young little talent there, they don't need to hold on to it. In fact, they probably need to get rid of a little bit of it and trade in for a couple of key positions.
Well, do you break a massive taboo and shop Liberatore around, considering he gave them nothing this season?
Well, nothing this season since he tore his ACL.
Yeah. Plus, when you're looking for members, you need to keep those people around.
Yeah, this is true. You lose him.
And a future captain.
Actually, would you make that phone call? And his dad answers the phone.
No.
Hello, this is Tony. Oh, hang up.
Nah.
Fourth time, hang up tonight.
Text from another country.
Yeah.
Make sure I got global roaming.
Send a fucking pigeon. I don't care.
Scratch this.
Yeah. But when you look at the people who, you got Bontempelli, you got Stringer, and you got Liberatore, like you said, and people who can multi-position play similar roles.
Mate, yeah. This side is geared up for a
Yep.
massive 2016.
Yeah.
Well, and again, like we've said many times before, injuries are a massive part of setting up a side for a season.
Yeah.
Losing a quality player like Liberatore at the beginning of the season
Yeah.
fucks the whole season up.
Yeah.
Best and fairest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Him in the side, they're better. There's no doubt they're a
course.
better side.
Yep.
And this team was good enough to make finals with him and with a whole season preparing around a quality midfield that they have.
Yeah.
They'll go deep.
Look, another year into Tom Boyd.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who we know he can be a monster, but he wasn't there yet. He's on
Yeah.
a massive contract. You've got to start delivering. I know it's only year 2 of the contract and his 3rd year in the league.
Yeah, something like that.
You've got to do something.
Well, look, he played good in their prelim final for Bees.
Yeah.
For Footscray or whatever
Yep,
they
Footscray.
call themselves these days.
In the VFL.
And so I think just a bit of match fitness, get him well looked after
When
and
you
well
look at
recuperated.
Young big guys, it's
and him in
hard.
there, yeah.
They've got all the ingredients that you need. Like they've got a really good back line that'll run the ball out fast.
One key backman is all they need.
Yeah.
I think they're
What, a bloke like Brian Lake?
Yes. Brian Lake was awful in his last year there.
Yeah.
And again, because I was reading so much after the premiership, they said when he came over to Hawthorn, the Hawthorn players are still on leave. He went,
Yeah.
right, well, I've got to start work. He lost 5 kilos before the Hawthorn players
Damn.
came back.
Jesus.
And that's why he's become, reinvented his career. But yeah, literally, Brian Lake is somebody they need. Their mid-size and small backs are All Australian standard. I mean, they got
Yeah.
2 in the All Australian back line
Yep.
in Bob Murphy and Easton Wood.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
And I think
Just that one key is all they need.
I think when you look at their team, they've got, well, any team, when you're analysing your squad and you're planning on how you're going to win finals, you have to look at what advantages do you have that you can exploit over
Yep.
other teams, and what are other teams going to be able to exploit over us.
What are our holes?
And I think Western Bulldogs have enough advantages with the squad that they have. Where they're young, they're determined, committed, winning games, and especially they outwork you.
Yeah.
So I think at the moment, when you look at trading, I think you'll trade for almost specific matchups. I mean, you look at beating teams like West Coast, Hawthorn, Sydney,
I see where you're going.
Kangaroos. You might need those players who they might not always be in your 22, or they might not be key roles. But when you're playing these teams, they're going to have holes that you can't sort of cover up. And in order to win those games, they're going to match up on you better than you're going to match up on them.
The old horses for courses theory.
Yeah.
One good thing you did say there is like, where are our holes and what can we exploit?
Got one good thing in there.
One thing on that is, and we've said it before, Beveridge has already told them you've
Yeah,
got to
both
find a
feet.
left leg.
Yep. Yep.
If you can't find a left leg, you don't have a spot here.
Yep.
They've identified, and obviously a Clarkson assistant, this is the way you got to win now. We've
Yep.
got to
Absolutely.
get footballers.
Yeah, exactly.
And Hawthorn's shown it. You're an idiot if you ignore it.
Yep.
You got to find then what's the next step after
5
that.
quarters.
But
Five
5
terms.
quarters, exactly.
Well, yeah, I mean, we saw in the grand final, Hodge
term fee, I know.
Hodge had
Thing
no
is-
right foot,
hold on.
and that really hurt him.
When I was planning that out, I made sure do not say quarters.
quarters.
Do not say quarters. Say terms. Guys, build that section. Finally, yeah, no, 5 quarters.
Just an aside on that, at Auskick this year, the coach told one of the parents, "Can you go set up the cones in 3/3?" He's like, "Not 4/3."
A hole.
Anyway. So yeah, look, Bulldogs. They shouldn't be a surprise to anyone either this year, which is going to be the harder part for them. Is
Yeah.
people are going to go, okay, what do we do for the Bulldogs now?
Yeah, but the thing is, I think they're young enough that they potentially could be a surprise because
They
you
could
don't know
change.
what they're still developing, and how they're playing now isn't how they're always going to play because they're going to go and have more than one strategy you can go into. Where if that one fails, then I mean it's hard to get
Got
those
something
people
else,
on board
yeah.
onto something else without
The
training.
Bulldogs are almost like the Diggers. I mean, whenever they have their premiership reunion, there's fewer and fewer blokes. And, eventually there's just one lone bloke going, can you please just fucking add to this group? Even the 400 club has more members than me. Fuck.
Just quietly, Brad Hill's 22 and he's played in more grand finals than the Western Bulldogs.
Oh shit.
Anyways.
Yeah.
All right, I think that goes us through each team.
Yep.
It's time. We might wrap this up in a minute.
Yep.
So what we're going to do, I don't know, have we sorted out how we're going to do our end of season wrap ups for each side yet?
No.
We'll figure it
with
out.
The 3K.
I think,
Yeah,
maybe you'll
but-
be in charge of facts, you'll be in charge of nothing, and I'll be in
Well-
charge of funny yet coincidental, half made up stats.
Okay, so we're all going to be full of bullshit then.
Yeah.
Now, in the Brownlow Medal livecast last week, I think a lot of people were very pleased
Drunk. Oh,
with the Tales from the Mahogany Room.
Yeah.
So next week we'll still do our Monday night. I don't know if we'll livecast it because this livecast has gone a
Yeah.
little bit wonky. But
No, we'll definitely livecast it.
we're going to have a gambling stories from
Yeah.
from the casino. So we're going to have just about a whole episode on that, and it's probably going to span 2 or 3 episodes. Depending.
Yeah, it could be a regular thing, let's be honest.
Yeah, it could span out and become 6 or 7 stories and poker stories and that
Exactly.
kind of shit.
Plus, bloke will bring it in is pretty funny as well.
So what we're saying is the off season, it isn't an off season for us.
No.
We'll keep talking.
This is
cricket.
our on season. This is when we get straps.
Once we start talking bullshit, we don't have to worry about facts.
Once we're given like a free sort of framework to work within, it's not just AFL. Holy shit, son.
Yeah, I'm still
Lock up the
deciding.
kids.
I'm still deciding whether they're going to cover UFC 193 because they haven't given us press credentials, despite the fact we asked. So I don't know whether to just tell them to fuck
What more
off
do
or
you need
not.
to do than ask?
I reckon.
I know.
Well, it's a couple of the fighters started following us, so maybe we'll try and get on the podcast.
We'll try and hit them up too.
But it's hard when they're weight cutting for 6 weeks.
Yeah, no,
They're
I-
fucking angry.
I told the UFC, their marketing department, I said, look, we've got viewers and watchers and a website even, and maybe
That
they
wasn't
even
good enough?
maybe they checked it out and said, fuck this. But either way, they haven't got us on board. So
And if-
So the short is we're still going.
Yeah, and if the card's crap, instead of just bagging it, we just don't cover it.
Ben 10 got signed on for the 193.
Did he really?
today too. Yep.
Awesome.
I saw it just before I got here.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Anyways, that'll do us. That was episode 63 or something like that. All
Yep.
right. Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Peace.